Hello and welcome back to my channel. It is me, Jaylynn. If this is your first time here, welcome to my channel. The content is fire. You can go ahead and hit subscribe right now. Jumping right in the video because we need to talk. We need to have a candid conversation about how I got to Taiwan. And a lot of you are curious. I have been putting off this video for quite some time because the journey to get to Taiwan has just been filled with a lot of anxiety and L's, like a lot of L's that I didn't want to talk about on YouTube. Overcoming the adversity that I have faced before coming to Taiwan has transformed me for the better, and maybe this video could help someone else. So that's what we're gonna be discussing today, how I got to Taiwan. Jaylynn's journey, right? Before starting this video off, I want to give a disclaimer. This is not an instructional video on how to navigate through adulthood. This is just me simply sharing my experiences and hoping to inspire others along the way. Over the past few years, I've been up, I've been down, and I've been constantly redefining what home means to me. This story is gonna start my senior year at North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University. It is an HBCU. It was my safe haven, and it was one of the first times that I ever felt magic. So yeah, it was a school that gave me a chance when a lot of other schools did not, coming straight out of high school. A&T wasn't my top choice, but I don't know who I would be if I did not end up going. Cutting right into my senior year, during this time I was trying to apply to law school and create a solid 3-year plan that would help me get my white picket fence and house on the hill, which is really dumb and arbitrary and probably wasn't even my real goals. It was just a goal that society was placing on me at the time, so I was just feeling pressured to live that life. And I will say, applying to law school with an uncompetitive LSAT score and a 3.5 GPA is the most nerve-wracking thing that I have ever done in my whole entire life, because you're not as competitive as other applicants who score really high or have really low GPAs. You just sit in the middle and hope for the best, and that just is the worst. Needless to say, I was accepted into 9 law schools at that time, and I chose the school that offered me the most money and guaranteed me a summer fellowship, which made the most logical sense for me at the time because I'm poor. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I don't have money for law school, so that's just what I went with. That was the cards dealt to me, and I was ready to face them head on. However, no, the summer before law school was really life-changing, to say the least, and you'll know why at the end of this section of the story. It's really crazy. So the first portion of the summer, I was conducting bioethics research at a university. That program provided housing, so it was wonderful. And then I got accepted into a summer enrichment program at a premier law firm in DC. I did not have housing situated at that time because I'm from North Carolina and I don't live in DC, and DC housing is expensive, as every intern in DC knows the struggle of housing in DC. But my great aunt, she stayed in Maryland. I've never met her. She graciously allowed me to sleep on her couch, and every day I would drive 2 hours to get to this program. It was challenging, but I had to do what I had to do because I really wanted to be there. I was determined to be there, be punctual, be involved, and I don't know, it was an eye-opening experience for sure. I think it's also important to note that I was the only person who didn't go to a T30 law school, so a top 30 law school, in this program, sitting in these rooms with people who are going to Yale, Harvard, Emory, Georgetown, you know? So I think they saw something in my application, and I'm really grateful that they allowed me to sit in on this program. As the summer was wrapping up, one of the partners at the law firm pulled me to the side and told me to rethink my law school decision, which was stressful to say the least because school's about to start literally in 7 days, like a week, y'all. School's about to start in 1 week, and this person told me I should rethink my law school decision. So I'm sitting here confused and like baffled and just like grappling with a lot of ideas in my own head. However, when a partner at a top law firm pulls you to the side and says, hey, we see something in you, but if you apply to this firm next year and have this law school on your resume, we will have no other choice but to throw your application in the trash. Like, when I hear that, I'm like, okay, I need to withdraw. Well, granted, I could just took a step back and said, maybe this isn't the firm for me. Maybe firm life is not for me. Maybe I should just throw myself in the public sector versus the private sector. However, I just wanted to have a fighting chance as a law student. I didn't want to have to struggle for job placement when I got out of school. So literally 2 days before classes started, I drafted my withdrawal letter and told them that I will not be able to attend, and you can go ahead and give up my seat and my scholarship and my summer fellowship. I walked away a lot. I just decided to like take a chance on me, which was dumb. So dumb, but I was willing to be dumb for myself, to have a better future for myself. So that's what I did. I withdrew from school 2 days before classes were about to start. And just like imagine telling my parents about this, y'all. Like, I had already announced to everybody on Facebook and LinkedIn that I was going to law school with like half my tuition paid for, and I have an advocacy fellowship, so I'm gonna do this for the summer. Like, imagine just saying, okay, just kidding. It built a lot of anxiety within me because I was really went from being super sure about my future to being uncertain about everything, and that gray medium is not a fun place to be in. So I just went back home. There was nothing else I could do. I just went back home. I didn't have any money. Like, so this next phase of my life, I'm calling it my leap year, you know, Jaylyn's journey, keeping with the theme, on brand, right? But no one tells you like life after college is gonna be depressing, hard to maneuver. Like, adulthood is trash, y'all. Like, it really is just trash. And I'm gonna be blunt with you, like, if you don't have a plan coming out of school, like, you will have a very hard time coping with adulthood, as did I. I went from having a solid concrete plan to having no plan at all. I was unemployed for about 2 months, and then I finally became a legal assistant, and I had a public health apprenticeship at a hospital, and of course a legal assistant at a firm. I was grateful they allowed me to do this. Given all the free time that I had at the time, you'd think I could just throw my whole self into my LSAT study. However, I don't know. I was just not in the right place mentally at the time to be studying for the LSAT, nor to be reapplying for law school, because I reapplied as soon as I got home, because applications open in September, so I was ready to reapply. And looking back in hindsight, I think that was the wrong move for me, because the stress of just taking a year off and confused on my next moves, led me into depression. So around this time I was diagnosed with depression. I take medicine for it and also see a therapist that really helped me work through a lot of my problems. And yeah, I'm not ashamed to say that I had depression. I was depressed. I did not want to get out of bed. I didn't even want to live at one point. It was sad. I'm about to cry just talking about it, because it was such a dark place for me. I never want to go back there for sure. I don't know, just keep moving forward. That's just the motto for my life that I choose to use. Often just keep moving forward, no matter even if you don't think you can, just do it. While I was applying to law school, I also applied for a Fulbright in Taiwan to get my Master's of Science in Global Health. I hope for the best. I had all these applications out in the world, in the universe, and just hoping that I could get a sign, you know? I was getting no'd left and right. Like, I'm gonna be completely honest. I was told no so many times. I did not get the Fulbright. I did not get into the school I went into. I did, however, get a summer internship in public health in Atlanta. So I did not end up getting the Fulbright for Taiwan, but the school still offered me a full ride scholarship to go to their school. So I took it. It was literally the only option I had at the time. I could not go back to nothing again, because that's not good for me. It puts me in a very dark place, and I did not want to be depressed again. I took a leap of faith and went to Taiwan. The summer that I spent in Atlanta was 100% hot girl summer. I was in my bags, as the kids say. No, I worked in the public health sector. I was doing research. I met a lot of cool people who were ambitious, and yeah, I just fell in love with the city, y'all. Like, it felt like home all over again. It felt like A&T, but in the real world. So I was really grateful for that experience. And I also think that's what made coming to Taiwan at the end of the day really, really hard for me, because I was in a place that I was so comfortable in and thriving in, and then I had to be shipped in the place that I would feel little to no comfort in at all times. It's a really hard place to be, and you have to have the right mindset to do things like that. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. You do have to have the right mindset because you will face racism. There is no place in the world where you will fit in as a Black woman. I'm just gonna say that. Which leads me to the main portion of the story. How did I get to Taiwan? So, moving to Taiwan was scary as hell. I flew out of the Jackson Hartsfield International Airport where I met one of my classmates. Her name is Tamara. I love her so much. You're just, you know, two Black girls on the plane, just like, hey girl, are we really about to do this? Because this is crazy. Like, we knew that this was crazy. Don't get me wrong, because this was crazy. Hopping on a plane to go like 10,000 miles away, that's crazy. People don't do that, but we did that. So we hop on this plane, we're together. At least I had her. If I didn't have Tamara, I don't think I would have went to Taiwan. But anyway, 20 hours later, we arrive in Taiwan, and it's dark, it's loud, it's like noisy, it's fast paced. We don't know the language. We barely have cell phone service. We got into the van, and she was dropping me off at my dorm, and she was going to her hotel. When she dropped me off at the dorm, one of our other friends, because we had a group chat prior to arriving in Taiwan, but we never met these people in real life. My first time meeting Tamara was at the airport, but needless to say, it all worked out, so don't worry. But we got off the plane, and one of the guys from our program was helping me with my bags, but he looked crazy, y'all. Like, I'm scared. I don't know what's going on, and this guy is trying to help me, and I've never met him, and he literally looks like a serial killer. And I look back at Tamara like, girl. She said, you gonna be okay? I said, I hope so. Like, I really hope so. Kodak voice, I really hope so. But he was the sweetest person that you will ever meet. Like, don't ever judge a book by its cover. But also, you know, I'm from America. I have to keep my guard up. I don't know if you're trying to kill me or not. Like, I'm sorry. But he did not kill me. He was very nice. He helped me move in. He was fluent in Mandarin, so that helped a lot. He was able to communicate with my landlord? My landlord of the dorm, like the dorm managers for me, and helped me move in, and we got food. And then I called my parents like, wow, I'm really doing this. And they're like, wow, you're really doing this. And I'm like, y'all letting me do this. That's also very crazy because y'all never let me do nothing. Being in Taiwan, I've been able to interact with quite a vast handful of people. I've never dealt with a lot of these personality types before, so I think that I'm doing a lot of self-discovery. I read books now, my hair is growing, you know. I think it all worked out for the best 8 months later, and I can say that I'm making it out, and I have every intention on staying. Not to mention, like, coronavirus happening, that's absurd. We could die. The world is a scary place, man. My time spent at NTU has been amazing. I've been able to meet so many different people. We've been able to work on indigenous health in Hualien, Taiwan, where all the indigenous tribes are. We got to go to Japan to present on our presentation. I went to Disney World in Japan. Like, I would have never got to do any of these things if I didn't just take that leap of faith and fly to Taiwan. And Taiwan is so safe. I love Taiwan for being so safe. I also reapplied for the Fulbright grant this year, and I was awarded. I finally won. That was a really moving day because I worked really hard on the application. So after I'm done with Taiwan, I will be moving to Barbados to work on disaster management with the Caribbean Disaster Management Agency and UN Women. I'm hoping for the best, and I'm just open to new experiences now. I think taking untraditional routes in life is worthwhile because law school will always be there. A PhD will always be there. I'm not really sure where my journey will end or what I will do next. Maybe that'll look like a JD, maybe it'll look like a PhD, maybe it'll look like both. I don't know, and I feel like that's okay. It's okay to not know where you're gonna be next, you know? Just take signs from the universe and keep moving forward. That's all you can do.